Hi, I'm Ray Smith. I'm the saxophone professor at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. And I'm very happy to talk to you a little bit about the Rousseau mouthpiece. Eugene Rousseau was my teacher, and I have the utmost respect and trust for him, and the products that he helped to create are phenomenal. I play the Rousseau NC4 mouthpiece on my alto. This is what Rousseau considered was the standard mouthpiece for alto, tenor, and bari, was the NC4, well, 4R originally, then the NC4 later. And I swapped over because I did like the smoothness and more quiet, less extra surrounding noise with the NC models. The NC3 is considered the standard opening for the soprano. So I do play the NC3 on the soprano, the NC4 on the alto, but I particularly like the NC5 on the tenor, just a little bit more open. And on the bari, I play a 4R, which is a precursor of the NC New Classic series. So there are good reasons I love this mouthpiece. The mouthpiece that I played before this, honestly, felt like it had a rag in the bell. And when I hear other people play that mouthpiece, it still feels to me like there's a rag in the bell. It doesn't have the full spectrum of overtones, the clarity that this mouthpiece has. I really like that a lot about the mouthpiece, and its consistent response up and down the entire range of the horn and way into the altissimo. I'll show you what I mean. Play some high things and some low things just for a moment. Just love the clarity and ease of response in all the registers, and also really helps with the intonation. I think the best way, though, to illustrate the sound of these mouthpieces is in the heat of battle. I'd like to play a few pieces for you from my CDs, just to give you a sense of how it feels in the context of the orchestra or the quartet, etc. So first, the title cut from one of my CDs, Tableau de Provence. Here's the fifth movement. working backwards for some long tones, beautiful sound kinds of things. Here's the fourth movement of the same piece. Well, that last page cooks, doesn't it? Cutting in the middle here. Kind of the recap. So this mouthpiece really sings. I'd like you to show you some soprano sound now. Rousseau NC3. This is the Mozart quartet for oboe. That was actually Rousseau's idea that I do this on soprano saxophone. Some of the third movement, we're cutting in the middle. And F for the oboe, but that puts the soprano in G, so those high Gs, no problem with the Rousseau. This is a tiny bit from the slow movement of the same piece. Illustrate again the long sounds. Love the control we can get on that. This next piece is the Whirly Sonatina for the baritone saxophone, starting with the second movement and then a little bit of the third. This is just the last part of the second, and then we'll just do a little bit of the last part of the third. Third movement, kind of at the recap. So that's the older Rousseau version there. I didn't ever have the NC4 when I did that recording. Now I'd like to show you a little bit of tenor. This is the Villalobos. It's usually done on soprano, but I did it on tenor. A little bit of the second movement. And again, this is the NC5. Smooth and quiet as a mouthpiece. Love it. Such a smooth, consistent sound from low to high. Now a little bit of the third movement, cutting in after the intro. I'll stop it there just long enough to say that we've seen now each of the mouthpieces on each of the instruments under the slower, more flowing kind of melodies and the faster, more articulated things, and the mouthpiece serves one well in all the demands that there are. I'd like to play just a couple of three cuts here for another purpose. This is the Utah Saxophone Quartet, an album that we did some years ago called Playing Tribute. The first CD, two CDs, the first CD is dedicated to the memory of Marcel Mule and the Paris Saxophone Quartet, and the second CD is a little more eclectic and it's dedicated to the memory of the Hollywood Saxophone Quartet. I'd like to play just a little bit of one of the Pyrenees pieces on the first disc. Everybody in this quartet plays the Rousseau mouthpiece. So you're hearing Rousseau on the soprano, the NC3, you're hearing the NC4, actually I'm not sure if Darren was playing the 4 or the 5 on the alto, and the NC4 on the tenor, and the 4R on the baring. So this is a little bit of the Pyrenees, one of the, there's a suite of 4 little pieces. This is the garden one. Such a lovely blend there with all Rousseau mouthpieces. I should give credit there. I'm playing soprano. Darren Bradford is playing alto. Dave Feller, who's also a fellow Rousseau student, is playing the tenor. My brother Galen is playing the bari. That was to kind of illustrate the beautiful blend and balance that we could get with those mouthpieces. I want to show you one with more technique, faster, more articulation. Just like that. I'm going to do one more thing for you because we decided to do some jazz things that were done by the Hollywood Quartet, and we decided not to use our regular Rousseau classical mouthpieces. So on this one, on the soprano, I used a Rousseau 6R, which gave me a little more width, but I didn't go all the way to my jazz mouthpiece. So, have you met Miss Jones? Lenny Niehaus. When I do my jazz stuff, I use the Jody Jazz DV models on all my saxophones, soprano, alto, tenor, and bari. But here we were trying to do kind of a mid-ground kind of approach to it. So the Rousseau 6R provided a really good way to take the middle ground on that, where I use a NC3 for the classical. And so all the Rousseau for all the classical and Jody Jazz. I'm so glad that Jody Espina has taken on the Rousseau line. Rousseau is such a dear friend and mentor for me, and I'm just grateful that someone is picking up the torch and carrying it on. And I'm just grateful for all that Jody's contributing to the saxophone world with his jazz mouthpieces, now with the Rousseau mouthpieces, and to the clarinet world with the Shedville mouthpieces. What a contribution. Jody, thank you. And hope you have enjoyed this, and I can tell you that the Rousseau mouthpieces perform. They do the things that you need that are required by the music you've got to play. So wish you all the best, and hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you.